with all 13 of our participants. You know who's truly hardcore. Well, I found out that I guess not everybody checks their Telegram all the time. We found that out very quickly on during the swap stuff. That was interesting. Hell yeah. I just read what you said. Yeah. I discovered them like 6 years ago or something. I don't know how they came up.
Yeah, I used to listen to them all the time in high school, dude. I used to think I was so cool, like driving around listening to
that. You felt like you were driving through Tron, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was like Magnum PI.
He's like, yeah, Tron. Yeah. Yeah, no, I by that time, yeah, I thought it was, yeah, I would blast the hell out of it. I was, yeah. And then that one, I listened to their whole album, and then I started getting into the retro wave stuff. Like by getting into it, meaning listening a lot to it, I have a tendency to just listen to all sorts of different music. Ooh, thanks. I am going to add, I'm going to check that out. I always like the, like new playlists and stuff. It is, I basically have music running on all the time.
You should listen to the album that I released today then.
You released something?
Yeah, it's in the lounge.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I did not realize that. I know you were mentioning that you were going to be putting something out. Oh, you have a video. My bad, man.
Well, the video, yeah, the link, you got to scroll up a bit.
Okay.
Bandcamp link.
That's right. That's what that was. Okay. I didn't realize that that's what it was. I kind of have to sometimes just browse quickly. All right. I'm going to check it out. You had played, I think did we play some of your stuff one time on a Twitch stream?
It was a long time ago, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty good. All right. Yeah. All right. All right, cool. So welcome everybody. I think we just lost someone, so that's good. We're at 13 people. It seems like everybody's part of the team, so everybody's going to know exactly what I'm going to talk about. We need to figure out, I wonder if we can do ads for these voice chats. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and get rolling. So thanks everybody for joining my TED Talk here today. I figured that we would kind of just, I just really wanted to get everybody updated on what's been going on. This week I've been, for a while, I've been, I try to be active in the chat as much as I can. The issue with that is I don't get as much work done, but it's really good for the, community building and stuff like that, and I get it. So I try to balance things out. This week, however, I basically retreated into my dev cave because I really, really, really wanted and needed to get one specific thing done, which I'll talk about in a second. But so this is my goal with this is to basically do a voice chat at least like every week, probably Friday nights. Maybe we could do another day. I realize that sometimes Friday nights might be too, like, I realize people go and do things Friday nights, right? So maybe a different day or something, maybe some sort of afternoon. I don't know. We'll figure out the time. Actually, we could probably check engagement on our chat and just in general to see what it is. But like, for example, Shane, he does his Crypto Pulse stuff. We're all shut-ins? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't go anywhere Friday. This is my Friday night, and I love it. I get to hang out with you guys. Shane's Crypto Pulse, he does that Saturday nights, 9 to 11, thereabouts. which I finally managed to get on last weekend. It was actually really nice getting back in there and chatting. But anyway, so every week I'm going to be doing a voice chat. I know we've been kind of doing them on a regular basis, but I do want it to just be like on the docket. Everybody can expect at least one voice chat per week, where I kind of go over everything that's been going on, the stuff that's been in development, any new developments, like just general business developments, and then stuff that we're anticipating to release and things like that. So we'll try to. No, I just kind of want to say it because it sounds cool. But we'll try to enact Robert's Rules of Order, but it's totally not going to happen because I'm the only one talking. It's me. So, and I also don't remember any of Robert's rules. So it was just something cool to say so that you guys know that I know what it is, but I actually don't. So let's go over the general updates here. Also, as an aside, I do read over the chat as much as I can. So everything that people are saying, like I try to read over main, lounge, tech support. Honestly, the only one that I have not, and it's not that I don't want to, it's the feature requests section. And it's only because I know people put in a lot of really cool ideas and I get really excited about them. And then I want to immediately do them. And then like I kind of can't because we have a new development process, which I think I went over last time, but I can mention it again. That's not true, John. I try to, whatever. Honestly, if I leave you on red, it's a good thing. It's not that it means that I actually read it. If it's not, I probably see everybody's DMs. I usually see 90-95% of everybody's DMs. And then the ones that I can't immediately respond to, I actually don't read them. So I try to leave them unread so that it reminds me to read it because I get this anxiety about the little blue circles. But then if I read it, it's just okay, it's an acknowledgement that I know what you just said. So I don't know, whatever. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. You know what? Screw you, John, for making me feel bad. Yeah, bullshit. Okay. This isn't about me. It's about us. All right. So overall, several bug fixes have been accomplished. So those will probably be pushed tonight. But again, due to our new development and release process, I will probably push those tomorrow. But I know some people have been commenting or about this curious thing that happens with Rocket Drop. So if you click too fast on the staking, the you start getting a huge just this really fast listing of all the different pools and stuff, and it kind of cycles through them all, and it's really strange. Honestly, I don't really know exactly how that happened. It was kind of this quirk, but it's fixed now. So I should be pushing. Actually, that update I could probably push tonight. But so that part is fixed. There's just other general things that have been taken care of by Oscar and Bach. So those will get pushed as well. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know. I think that one has been the most prevalent one that people have been asking questions about. Also, I don't know how many of you guys use the compounding button, but it feels like 50% of people it works for, and then the other half it doesn't. So I've been really leaning on just turning it off. So I don't know. I guess a little bit of feedback on that would be cool. But I think that in general, overall, it just confuses people, even though it was supposed to be something that would make life easier for them. Maybe it can be reworked so that the button instead, it'll be okay, claim, and then it turns into stake claimed tokens, instead of just calling it compound. Because there's an assortment of things, like whether it's their user settings, their internet connection, whatever, that plays into stuff, and also nodes, the RPC nodes, especially on BSC, which has been the bane of my existence over the last few weeks, may not allow the functionality to happen, because it's not compounding in the contract itself. It's literally scripting, like claiming your tokens and then just staking only the amount that you claimed, right? So, because you can't, there's really, at least not as it is, you can't really auto compound in the contract, and it's considering the type of contract it is and the flexibility it has with opening up the different pools, it's not really something that's ever going to get implemented in the contract. It's not particularly easy to do because of the nature of the contracts and stuff. So I don't know. So that's probably going to get taken off. If you guys feel otherwise, let me know. But I think overall it'll probably just save more time in the tech support side. All right. So also, I think I had mentioned last voice chat about how I was very excited about a new UI dev that we managed to bring on board. So his deal, he was working with a company. He ended up giving his 2-week, or I guess in this case, like 4-week notice. And he was helping them kind of like offload, the work that he was doing for them. It turns out that he was looking for something a little bit more exciting and new and a little bit more magic, in his life. So because this person also knows our main UI dev, Oscar, they chat a lot. They've been friends since they were kids, and their skill level is about the same. He realized that we weren't a fly-by-night operation, so he came on board, and I'm very excited to have him on. So next week is when he starts on, he comes on board full-time. So it's it's awesome. I'm super excited about it because he's really good. He knows our system well. He's worked with us in the past, so he's familiar with what we do and what our goals are and stuff. So that actually helps. It saves a lot of time. But he also knows the stack that we work with. That's basically the type of languages that we use to build our dApps and stuff like that, which is Svelte, TypeScript, and Web3 mostly. So yeah, he's coming on board full time on Monday. Pretty excited about that. In the meantime, he has been working on something which I'll touch on in a second. So that's pretty fun news. Also, regarding the REF, the RBX expansionary forces. I'm going to make this stick, the REF. But yeah, our ambassador program, our outreach program, I think the last time that I spoke about it, we were at 60-something or 70-something applicants. We're actually at about 108 applicants right now total since the start. And we have finally, not finally, it's just it's a lot of applicants, so we wanted to make sure we made the best use of our time and not waste their time and anything like that. So out of the current 108 applicants, 72 have been selected as of tonight for onboarding. So if you are one of those lucky few, you will be getting an email from us regarding the next steps. There's a specific onboarding room in Telegram where you'll be invited to, and that's where the process starts. We have there is an entire process of this, so that's just the first step. But if you made it through that initial cut, it's because we think that you are aligned with not just our project culture, but also that you're not a dumbass and that you're actually putting in some effort and that you're also not a bot. So that really does help. So really the qualifications other than a heartbeat is that you're not, dumb, I guess. But also, I'm not gonna lie. So Dave is handling that part, and he did confess to me that a big factor was the type of dad joke that somebody wrote in. I thought it would have been the fill in the blanks thing, but I can totally see where a good dad joke can make the difference between a yay or an A. So that's pretty exciting. So they'll be getting reached out to, getting the old reach out. If they didn't put an email, they're gonna get the old reach out to through Telegram or Twitter, I believe. There were different contact informations or something. So that's cool for them than us. Or Slack. Yeah, or Slack. Let's see. Okay, so also we are still in internal discussions and stuff like this. And we may be potentially bringing on board an additional Solidity dev. So, there's still some conversations that need to be had, but that would be pretty fun and actually great to have because then it expands our reach and stuff like that. VC attendance should be mandatory. But so I just wanted to let you guys know because so far it's always just been me as a Solidity dev. Then we brought on board an intern, and then we had we've had some help, with other stuff, but usually it's just been it's been mostly like JavaScript or just web stuff. But this person has been able to prove that that they're very interested in this stuff like that, and I am excited to be able to potentially keep them on board or bring them on board, really. So the good thing about that is that it doubles the bandwidth as far as Solidity stuff. Like everything else that we do, not trying to make some sort of point about it, but like because everything that all of our products are based off of like Solidity at the end of the day. Like it's the smart contracts that we have deployed, the mechanics of it, like what it can do with both tokens, native coins, and stuff like that. So it's really every product that we put out, it has a Solidity base. So the more capacity we have on that end, the more products we can put out, and the more improvements and features and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good thing. So we'll see, and I'll keep everybody posted on that. So I was checking today for our limit orders. I am a little sad that not a lot of people are using them, but maybe they just don't know that we have them. But we have a good amount of orders that have been put in. I think that maybe people are, weary. I always get those two confused because one of them means tired and the other one means cautious. So I'm going to go with the cautious one. I think that's W-A-R-Y. Yeah, wary. So some people are wary about it, and I can understand, I suppose. But the limit orders are actually working really well. I was going through the orders that have been put in, and we've had successful orders. The limit orders get fulfilled through our Teleswap contract, which is our custom. It's our custom router, which is it's supposed to handle all of our trades. I'll get to that in a second. But so far, I was taking a look at them. We've had orders that have been fulfilled successfully. This is all on BSC, and they're working great. Right now, I don't think that we're actually charging any fees for the limit orders. In fact, you can push through limit orders without it costing you anything. You can also cancel them without it costing you anything, which is a big difference versus sites like 1inch. 1inch has limit orders, but you have to. So like you can put it in. You do have to approve. I mean, like you can't get away from that. You do have to approve the token, so that's one transaction. And you can push the limit order without cost, from what I can remember. But if you wanted to cancel it, you can't do it without paying gas. You have to cancel it on chain. So ours are not like that. You can cancel. You can push in an order without cost other than the approve, and then you can also cancel it without cost. So what it lets you do is put out orders to your heart's content. If you decide later to change it, you can go ahead and do that. So go ahead and do that. Try them out. Do it with small amounts. I know that the current user interface may be a little intimidating, but you can always hop in tech support or in main, and we can explain how it works. We are currently working on a more user friendly, I guess, or normie friendly, less like a more like an easier, really just an easier to use interface. But that's gonna be some time from now. So I'll be clear on that part. But I do know that might be like a sticking point or friction point for people. But yeah, give them a try. They work pretty well. That's not good. They work well. They work as they're intended. So good stuff. So give me a second. Hold on. Drink some water. Okay. So one of so now mentioning the limit orders and how they work through with our teleswap contract. Again, the limit orders are only on BSC right now. So the teleswap contract has only been deployed on BSC. That's going to be changing. We're going to be turning on, we're going, like all of our trades are going to start getting routed through our teleswap contract. And there's two reasons for that. But the main reason really is because once we start routing trades through our teleswapper, it allows us to collect our fee for trading. The great thing about it is that from a trader's perspective, it is a minimal impact on their trades. So it's a way to be able to generate revenue for the ecosystem without anybody noticing. Like it doesn't really impact people's trades. It's part of just the general, costs of trade and stuff like that. So it lets us do that. And then on top of that, it lets us standardize how trades are routed, because right now we use we aggregate liquidity from several dexes if liquidity doesn't exist on our dex. So the issue with that is sometimes you might be trying to trade, like let's say you're on Uniswap, on Ether, on mainnet, and you get a price for, for a specific swap. You approve the Uniswap router, and then you trade. Okay, so then later you go and you want to trade the same token, but the price is better on SushiSwap, right? Well, now you have to approve SushiSwap as well. So with the Teleswap router, which is the RBX Teleswap router, you only have to approve one contract. So at that point, it finds the best price across whichever DEX, and then you can trade without additional approvals. So that saves time, and it also saves money, and it's all handled, on chain and all that good stuff. And then, of course, it generates revenue for us. So it's something that I've been just kind of like waiting a bit. I kind of wanted to make sure that we were getting sufficient amounts of traffic and a lot of use. And I think that we've hit that because I know that S10 has been pushing out updates regularly about how many people have been using our the launcher, the main dApp, or the only dApp, I guess. So just for perspective here, over the last 7 days, we've had a total of 41,100 visits to our site, right? So rbx.ae. And out of those, we have had 30,520. I think I fucked up how I said the first one. Yeah, 41,150 visits. And then 77% of all those visits have been directly to our launcher, our dApp, right? My assumption is that it's going to be that it's mostly our DEX. So that's 30,520 people visiting over the last 7 days, right? So that's a good amount of people. That means that people are actively using our DEX to trade. They're checking it out. They're, taking a look at what we've got and stuff like that. So that's really nice. It seems that we're averaging about 3,000 people going to our launcher per day. Over the last 24 hours, we've had almost 3,000 visits to our launcher, right? And these analytics, they're done through Cloudflare. So they're like raw, right? So like they don't, like if you use an ad blocker, like if you use uBlock, which I do use, you can't really track those people with Google Analytics. So I've been kind of more relying on the Cloudflare stuff because there's no way around it. Like we don't track anything. Like we don't track anybody. Where they come from or like any additional data. This is just like raw server logs that it parses. So far I have found that this is the most accurate stuff because we use Cloudflare, to prevent against like attacks like DDoSs and stuff. Something we actually had to deal with within the first few months that we had launched. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. It feels like that's kind of been like our usual amount, and it's steadily growing. So it's pretty exciting stuff. So I'm really curious to see, the revenue generated once that part's turned on. I do estimate that by the end of next week, that should be up, and then we'll be able to, just to see that type of volume. The other reason that this is getting switched to that, other than the benefits I just explained, I've already spoken. For those of you that know, we're actually on pretty good terms with Freddie from Dex Tools. He's one of the founders. We actually have we actually made a sticker for him, which he thought was pretty funny. We're involved in the Dex Force ventures with them. So that's kind of like their pretty, it's like a pretty high tier of, so we hold a lot of Dex tokens so that we get access to this stuff, and it lets us get access to, they have it all on their site, so I don't think I'm disclosing anything I shouldn't, but lets you get access to early pre-sales and VC type deals and stuff. So it's really cool, and you get a direct line with them and stuff. So we've had a really good relationship with them for a bit. So I was reached out to him last week because I noticed that SafeMoon is listed on, like, you can look up pairs that are on SafeMoon directly on Dex Tools, and I'm like, oh shit, we need to do the same thing. So I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, that's fine, and he told me the information I need to get him, and I'll be sending that over to him. Part of that is related to the teleswap router. So that's going to be really good. It'll let them index us and show the amount of volume that we get and stuff like that, and pairs that are related to RBX. So it's a good thing. And then along with that, it'll make it a lot easier for us to get on sites like DeFi Pulse and DeFi Llama, etc. Like these are like DApp trackers and stuff like that. So we've actually already filled out applications for both. Yeah, I think that we have. If we haven't, then they'll be getting submitted soon. And the good thing about these sites is that they like aggregate data across, like for all these different dApps across all sorts of blockchains. So it gets you a lot of exposure because people actually go, shit, I use it too. You know, I go on there to check like the newest, dApps that come out and stuff, and kind of like get an idea of, what's getting released. So there is actually a lot of traffic that these sites generate. And they don't really charge for it. It's more like just submit the application and then they add you to it, and then based off your stats, that's how you show up and whatnot. So we'll be getting listed on there pretty soon, I assume. So that's pretty exciting. Let's see. So yeah, that's kind of like all of like the I don't know. There's a word for it, but I guess like the operational side of things. Yeah, that's it. The operational side of things. Now we're going to get into the goodies, right? That I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know about. Because I do like to make sure that these updates are real sexy and people get excited about what we're doing and stuff like that. I mean, the shit I just talked about is exciting in and of itself because it'll generate a lot of exposure for us, and then also just improve the ecosystem overall. But these next couple of things I think will be fun. All right, so the following will be pushed onto the beta site probably tomorrow. So I don't remember if I had mentioned this before. Somebody can correct me, but the native token bridging, we had it on, or I had it on the staging site. The staging site is internal use only for a group of people, like people that we trust and stuff like that, and they get access to this. So this staging site had already the native token bridging live. So like if you wanted to move Ether from mainnet over to BSC or to AVAX, you were able to test that out. It's been working well. I've done several swaps. I believe that other folks have been able to do the same thing, and it's been successful. Am I not being heard? Okay, I guess it's just Iggy. Okay, cool. So at this point, I do think that it's ready to get onto the beta site, which is beta.rbx.ae. So I will be pushing that probably by the end of tomorrow night. And what that lets you do, like I mentioned, if you want to move Ether over to AVAX, you can do it. You want to move it over to BSC, you can do it. You want to move BNB to AVAX, you can do that, etc. So those are the native coins that you can bridge over between these different chains. The rate is really good. It's usually about 99% of what you're going to get. Oh, fuck, the memes. Yes. But we'll get to that in a second. So that's going to be live on the beta site soon. And by soon, I mean like tomorrow. Just have to update, the site on there. The other part is I know that last time I did mention over-the-counter orders. I don't know if I mentioned they were going to be on beta or staging. They were on staging. I'm going to bump those over to the beta. I think that it's ready for beta. So far I haven't seen any complaints. And our internal testing, it's working fine. There might be some UI things, UI feedback, I guess is the word, bugs. But I think that it'll be, the smart contracts are working well, and there's no concern as to whether a deal, an over-the-counter deal, would go wrong. It's more about user interface stuff or just improvements that we could do. But I think that those are ready to go to beta. So I'm more than likely going to be pushing that live as well on the beta site tomorrow night, or by tomorrow night. So the fun part about this one is that since the last update, we've also added the ability to do over-the-counter deals with NFTs. So that's pretty cool. As it is right now, you do have to put in the NFT contract address in order for it to create the deal. But you can post up an NFT as an over-the-counter trade, and then you can, if you want to sell it specifically to somebody, or if you want anybody to be able to take advantage of it, that's cool too. It's a same process. So you can put up an NFT for sale. You can put it up for sale in whatever token you want. Like if you want to sell an NFT for, I don't know, 1 million SHIB or something, you can do that. That's cool, and it'll be public, and people can take a look at it and take advantage of the trade if they'd like. So that's been the new thing with the OTC orders. Right now, it currently only supports ERC 721s, which is the general majority of NFTs. ERC 1155s haven't really... It's an interesting standard, but it doesn't seem to have caught on. There's some weird shit with it. I guess the mechanics of it, and I don't know. 721 feels more real, I think, to people versus just an accounting note in the contract. So I think that might be why. But yeah, 721s, you'll be able to do that. So I'll push those onto the beta site so that people can do it. Of course, if you run into any issues, hit up tech support or report in the bug channel. Right now, as of now, let's see, it's been, I think it's only on test nets. I think it's on Gorley. So, okay, yeah. So considering that, it might take until Monday or something, so I can deploy the contract and onto BSC. It's probably going to start on BSC and AVAX first, and then Ether. The only reason for that is that we have a couple other upgrades that we want, like native token swaps. So being able to sell 1 million Safe Moon for 1 Ether, for example, instead of 1 wrapped Ether, because that's how you would have to do it now. So that's really it. So we're kind of just doing that. So over the last, I think a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, we've had the launch pad on the staging site for our internal team to play around with. We've been improving the user interface for it on the mobile side, making it a little bit more friendly and stuff like that. Added tool tips and shit for people that are going to be launching a token sale. So that's been on the staging site. It's been on the Gorley test net. As much as I would like to push that live this weekend onto the beta site, more than likely it'll be something like Tuesday where I push it live onto the beta, and using testnet for the general public to be able to conduct public pre-sales and stuff like that and launches only on testnet. The reason for that is this is a really big endeavor. This is a very large and substantial project, right? So it's a big product, and we want people to be able to, we want as many people to be able to play with it as possible. So I think launching on the testnet, launching it live on the beta site, I think it'll give the opportunity for that. And I think that 1 week of testing should be sufficient. We've done a lot of internal testing on it. I have personally tested the hell out of it. And so far, everything seems fine, but there's always things that come up, whether it's on the user interface side or the smart contract side. It does a lot of stuff. It has built-in vesting for token sales. It has dynamic pricing for the sales itself. It's just all sorts of shit. It's something real special, I think, in my opinion. That while it's not a new concept, I think it sets things apart for us. So that's going to be live on beta next week for everybody to test. So that's really fun. All right. So 2 more things left, and then we hit up the meme contest here. I already talked about over-the-counter orders. All right. Peer-to-peer on-ramp. So one of the things that our new UI dev has been working on has been the peer-to-peer on-ramping. It's something that, has been on the docket for a while. And there's some interesting moving parts with it. But we've been working on the code on and off just because it takes time and just the way that I want to make sure that it works for everybody. But this is the main thing that I've had him focus on over the last 2 weeks. And I do believe that we'll be able to have a live beta by the end of next week, I would say. Yes, on-ramp and off-ramp. So there, I'm saying a lot of stuff for next week. Maybe we'll move it to the staging site for internal testing, but because this is a delicate thing, I don't want anybody running into any issues. Yes, PayPal would be supported. Keep in mind, and this is something that I've said from the beginning, if you're trying to buy crypto with PayPal, you're more than likely, like the liquidity providers are probably going to charge you a premium for this, simply because PayPal is a much more non-secure way of conducting business. We all know what PayPal does. We all hate PayPal. And if you don't, you should start hating them, because I fucking hate them. The way that they just very effortlessly freeze accounts, they cancel your accounts, like just the way that they are. They're not very nice. So there really isn't a ton of liquidity for PayPal, but usually there's more buy liquidity than selling liquidity for PayPal. So just keep this in mind. However, there are other options, other payment options. There is stuff like Western Union, both on and off ramping. That one can get complicated just because of the amount of time involved. So I would advise that whoever does use it would stick to stuff like Venmo, Cash App, Chime if you have a Chime account. There's a Zelle, those sorts of things. There's also TransferWise. Outside of the U.S., there's other payment providers like Payoneer, and that's the first one that comes to mind. But Wirefast isn't a thing anymore, is it? Huh? So just stuff like that, stuff that you can't really revert. That's usually where all the liquidity is because we all know the nature of crypto. So yeah, more than likely this is going to be I'm probably going to release it on the staging site because I don't think it would make sense to do beta like for the general public to play with. So I would say that by the end of next week we'll have it on the staging side. So I'm pretty excited about that stuff. It really helps when you have a bunch of other devs helping you with this shit. So last thing, final thing here are advertisements. So the ambassador applications that we've had, what did I mention? 108 applicants by last count. That's actually been completely organic, just from our Twitter posts and engagement in social media and word of mouth and just all purely organic. We have not actually advertised our ambassador program. The only time that we actually put real ads out there was during our AVAX launch because I wanted to make sure everybody knew what was going on. And it was actually extremely effective from my point of view, at least, like for our end goal. We managed to shoot up our traffic like big time. So we have a very large budget allocated for this. And we're going to be running the ads soon. I hate saying that, but really soon. It's not because we don't have it ready. We actually have all of the ad work assets ready. It's mostly just to make sure that everything is all the I's crossed and the T's dotted, you know, that sort of stuff, to make sure that everything is good. But more than likely, we're going to be putting out the ads first for the outreach program, the REF, and then pushing out ads for people to use our limit orders, our on and off ramp. Honestly, that's going to be a pretty huge campaign, I would say. Like just the advertising the peer-to-peer on and off ramp. That one's a pretty exciting one. I think it's pretty easy to get people to click on there. So we're going to be running quite a few of those. And then also for just some of the other stuff that we have in the works, we're always generating new ideas and implementing them, and we try to move as fast as possible to get these out. But also we want to make sure that whatever we deploy is with care and that it actually works. So yeah, that's kind of the general update, guys. I just, like I said, I wanted to keep everybody up to date. Oh, shit. I almost forgot the one thing. So if you were trying to bridge from BSC or Ether to AVAX and back, you can do that now. It's been working for most of today, I would say. I just didn't want to mention it. So that's why. Yeah. So when I first started talking, the main reason that I've been in the code dungeon is to complete our relayer. And I know that sounds small, I guess, but the relayer is what helps relay our bridge, right? Our bridge transactions. The current relayer is still up. It's still going, but it's kind of turned more into a backup now because I have the new relayer live, and it's working fabulously, and it's bridging across all three of the chains. The good thing about it is I literally hand-coded the whole thing. Took me about a week and a half. I put it together. And yes, I am very fucking proud of this. It is, yes, I'm really proud. And it works so well. It works so goddamn well. The cool thing about it is that because this was killing me. Our existing relayer, like if the nodes that we were using like were down, that's it. You know, like our bridge was down because we had to rely on a node. Yeah. Well, the new relayer, for each chain, it has like 4 to 5. Binance has like almost 7 different nodes. So it cycles through them all to make sure that it has a connection in order to bridge correctly. It also does, there's no issues with like the gas and the transaction fees. And it's very fast. It's just fucking awesome. And the great thing about it is that it works with our final stage bridge contracts. So these are our bridge contracts that have been ready for like the last 2 to 3 months. And it has all the bells and whistles, but it didn't work with our current relayer. So they kind of got shelved until we had the new relayer. Now we have the new relayer, so our new bridge contracts will be deployed very soon. Those new bridge contracts make everything a lot better for us, and also helps us collect the fees that we were charging before that currently were turned off, just because of the nature of the current bridge. So yeah, things are looking good. This new relayer is also a key part of the cross-chain swaps. Like every relayer out there that I've seen code-wise and stuff, they do things a certain way, which I really hate. And for anybody that's familiar, it's something called WebSockets, and basically it streams like any new blockchain events into the code. So like it picks up any new events, basically any new stuff that happens on the chain, and then it bases what it does next on those. I find that shit to be like really shitty, and I don't find it to be reliable. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but so far that's what I've seen. And it's a real pain in the ass. So the current relayer doesn't do that. It's very proactive. It looks for the event specifically, and then it uses multiple connections to pick up this data that it needs in order to relay the transactions. So this same relayer is what we're going to be using for our what did I call it? It was I don't know. I think I called it multi-swap, whatever. It's basically teleswap for cross-chain. So that's like the missing piece that I needed for our cross-chain swaps. So that's really what's going to enable us to do some really seamless cross-chain swapping, especially now that we have native token bridging through our dApp. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it. There's other shit, but I can't talk about it.